with the assumption that just assume, right?
Mhm.
They got it. Look, they got 6 games. They got to split 50-50 in their world champs. So with that being said, if the Nuggets win and the way the Joker has played the last 3 years, so that means he's actually playing to this level probably last 5 years, but the last 3 years is actually getting his recognition.
Mhm.
Does will the Nuggets and their personnel and the way that they play basketball change not only the NBA and how teams go about building teams, but change basketball? Because Joker can hit the threes, but he's not the Anthony Davis where you need to be a pick and pop 3-point shooter. He's not a Carl Anthony Towns. He's a physical presence. He can play basketball, but the 3-level score and primarily a 2-level score. You know what I'm saying? Where 18 feeding in and obviously get to the hoop. Will that change basketball? Because I think if it does, because it's a copycat league, a copycat era, if the Nuggets are able to win, will that change the landscape of basketball from obviously the top, which is the NBA, all the way down to the youth basketball?
It will, and it's cyclical. Here's the thing, though. How many Jokers are there in the world?
Here's the thing. I got a rebuttal to that though.
Well, and I know where you're going with it, because there are things that he does from that spot on the floor that are Derek Walker-ish,
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Tim Duncan-ish, right? That could do those things, go back all the way to Jack Sikma and Dave Cowens-ish. But
even like Bill Weddington and stuff like that.
Well, Bill Walton. This was Bill Walton's game.
And
this
Bill
was
Weddington and those
right.
guys. But here's why you asked where is there how many Jokers? Not many.
Right.
But there are a lot of Jokers that are the 41st pick, though, right? All the way down to the youth. Just think of all these kids in AAU, right? That might not be on whatever team's top team.
Mm-hmm.
Might be on the second or third team because they don't have 3-point shots.
Okay.
Joker has shown you don't need to be a 5 that needs to go in and out, dribble behind you, between your legs, behind the back, step back 3 as a 5. He can show you that I can be an inside presence. You get what I'm saying? And here,
but that we've had that in Draymond. We've had that in Giannis extending big man play. We've had that.
But they're not built like him.
Well, nobody's built like him.
Well, but I was saying when you see in Joker, okay, what I mean is this, okay, like so everybody's talking about my man that's coming, the French connection coming, right? The real French connection.
Yeah.
The other one transferred out. I didn't even get a chance to really get hype on him. But at the end of the day, you know who really deboed him from the time that they've been in AAU and USA basketball?
Who?
Lofton Jr., who plays now for Memphis. He has destroyed him every single time. Back to the basket, physical, 18 feet in, get you out there, let me body you up and go there, right? So what I'm saying is a Joker is, yes, you got the Draymonds, you got the Giannis's, but I'm talking more like I wouldn't say Zach Edey because I think Zach Edey's even slower than Joker, but somebody that's not 7'4". Just say he's 6'10". Okay, perfect example, right? Connecticut center from this year, right?
Yep.
A dominating inside force who has a 15-foot range game. Kansas's center from 2 years ago that actually plays for Utah,
right?
Or Utah's G League team, right? Might be was up for the Player of the Year in G League. Those type of players, will they come back and be more ready or be more of a draftable?
Yeah, they'll get more opportunities.
That's all I'm asking.
They get more visibility and more opportunity. Right. This is great for Derek Walker as he heads into that water. That style of play. The problem is that you don't have coaches that can teach
or want to.
Right.
They can teach it.
Well,
they will not.
Well, coaches teach to what they know and comfortable with. And even there, we all know coaches that knew they needed to do something different than what they were comfortable doing. Right. Just like, nope, I'm going down this hill.
Well,
I got a big grenade we fall on.
I can tell you this: the coaches that if a coach, to me, this is my opinion, and I told all my basketball players this, regardless of where you're at on this realm of what I'm about to say, if the first thing that a basketball coach says, and he talks about athletic ability and speed, that's not a coach that's going to help you get better.
Right.
because he's focused on a byproduct of playing basketball. Because if me and you just say that, or just two kids, you might be track faster than me, quicker than me. But if I know how to play basketball, angles, it doesn't matter.
Angles, core, spacing.
Right.
Those are the
and
things.
Basketball
Right. What
Joker dispels all that.
What they missed on Joker was basketball IQ.
Right.
That they just missed it. There was no way for them to get it. They did the mentally lazy thing and identified him as European this and that.
And he was it was not overly athletic.
Right. All the other stuff. But the rules of basketball exist. Doesn't matter how talented you are. If this, then that. And it exists at every level of basketball. Joker is as good as anybody we've seen. LeBron probably in his heyday, that has the full understanding of the rules of basketball, that listen, for every action there is an opposite reaction that serves basketball. Joker's mastered that. And nobody else is close.
He's beating people with his mind.
Like, I'm trying to think who else. I mean, Draymond plays at that level. Draymond,
LeBron, Joker. When you talk about understanding the game from the first play to the very last possession.
And I want to add one that we don't normally put in that space, but Steph Curry has a better understanding of space and timing of anybody in basketball.
Right, yeah. And it's all byproduct of my man Mark Jackson. Give it up. And Bob Myers just stepping down. So it's a good first segment, even a little bit short. Next segment, we're going to dive into a little college football, because even though we got UCLA and USC coming in, we might get some Florida boys coming. And guess who might be taking his team back to the Big 12? So we got a little bit of knowledge to drop on that. And coming after the break, Jay Foreman, DP, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got an estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From trek everything in between. Dreams you're within. Learn more at members.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Chevrolet GMC, and we are celebrating record sales month in April. We're going to let it roll and crank up in the month of May. We have some big discounts and special interest rates going on this month on selected new in-stock Sierras and Silverados. Buy a new Silverado or Sierra, get $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. You heard right, $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. We have outstanding specials on all of our GM certified units. Stop on in and see us or check us out online at couplecars.com. You'll be glad you did. New discount must trade in and finance with the roof credit.
May 1st through 31st, enroll your eligible smart thermostat in the LES Peakins program. You'll earn participation incentives while helping to reduce electric usage. Learn more and sign up at les.com/peak rewards.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing service. For my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my need within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Irrigation ready to get your system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Showers and thunderstorms will be a possibility today. Otherwise, it will be another warm one with a high of 87, south winds at 15 to 25. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms to low down to other showers and storms tomorrow. Warm yet again with the high of 88. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm Barb Bettine, President and CEO of the Lincoln YMCA. On behalf of the Y, I want to thank you for voting us Lincoln's Choice for Best Youth Sports Programs, Best Youth Activity Programs, and Best Preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. Hey, with summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club, that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused. But when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interest. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, man. Time is moving fast, man. Next thing you know, it's going to be Christmas. But anyway, college football talk. There's a lot of expansion. The big thing that I'm going to talk about now, because everybody seems to have their eyes on Boulder, Colorado, and Deion Sanders, right? The Deion Sanders, which is understandable because in the first 4 weeks, I think Colorado's in primetime games, right? And so that cachet of Deion, cachet from Jackson State, and the cachet of his presence and the way he's handled the team, obviously is going to bring a lot of notoriety there. Nebraska's going to be in the mix of that because we play Colorado week 2. But I was listening last night, DP, and I forget who said it. I think it was Tim Brando. Tim Brando's been going at the SEC hard too. Hey, listen, Tim Brando, the way you dance, I know you season your meat, my brother. So I know I'm gonna see you on the sidelines. I'm gonna get you on the show, but I want to say this, DP. It's a 4. And here's my prediction. Before the season starts, you will hear Colorado will be going to the Big 12. Now, I want to ask you this: two things, all kind of dealing with Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado and who else goes to the Big 12? Because they're not just going to expand by one team. It's usually 2, right? Which I like, even numbers.
They're going to have to. First of all, they're going to have to take evil twins.
Colorado State?
No, they're going to have to take both Utah and BYU.
So then that's 3. So where's the 4?
That's the thing. Then you get back into the same battle because if you take Colorado State, they're the whipping post.
Yeah, they're way down.
If you take Boise for football and basketball, you hope that it transcends, but that doesn't really work. Then you got to go back to California because I think Texas is off limits. I think the rest of Texas would be off limits because from a money standpoint, nobody in Texas wants to have to make that trip to Seattle, Spokane.
To get Washington.
Like, you don't want to have to go to Washington State. Like, you won't have to do it.
So what do you think it would be then?
If anybody from Texas was going to bounce, it would be TCU or to stay there. TCU had an offer to move and go SEC. So did Baylor.
but who would, just assuming that everybody stays packed, because I'm assuming that the powers that be already have talked to TCU. This is our plan. We're going to be adding some teams.
I actually didn't even read your notes today, but I had made notes on the Big 12.
So then who would be that fourth one? Who would be Colorado's partner in crime?
This is what this unfortunately what I think they will do is Kansas and Kansas State.
To go to the Big 12?
Yes. Here's why.
Kansas State's already in there.
Kansas is the one that you get. Kansas gets more monetary value.
But they're already in the Big 12.
Is it the Big 10?
No, over to the Big 12. So this is the list. Colorado, Utah, BYU, Oregon, Oregon State, Washington, Washington State, Arizona, Arizona State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and who did I miss?
Kansas.
I think that gives you 12 to my count.
In the Big 12.
In the Big 12.
Yeah.
That gives you 12. 12 should be the number because that removes UT, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
That puts everybody, the other 12 in. And that gives you
So say those names again.
So Washington, Washington State, Oregon, Oregon State, Utah, BYU, Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, Kansas State, Kansas, without TCU.
And you think TCU leaves in that, but Iowa State's still in.
Kansas stays if TCU Kansas is out if TCU stays. But TCU doesn't want to be the only Texas major hanging around. Like they don't want to do that.
Right. So
There's
you think they go to SEC.
They don't want to do that. Well, Baylor, they're like BYU and Utah. Baylor and TCU are sitting in it like, well, what about us? Because they want to be featured, but they also don't want to get left out.
And so Texas Tech would be staying around too then.
Right. So the partner SMU is still being pulled in that space. Texas, I have a sneaky suspicion that another conference pops up with the other Texas teams.
At a later date.
2 years.
Well, Texas is going to be in the SEC. In
Texas and OU done.
Oh, you're talking about the leftover start.
Yep.
I
That
like the old SWAC.
Yep. Because remember, it had value. Imagine that you're at the bottom of the SEC. You're not going to stay there while they keep adding more powerhouses. If you're Arkansas, you really trying to get out anyway. You don't want to be there.
Yeah, because you're going to recruit the same regardless. You're
Right. You don't want to be there. So it'll get interesting. The money part of it at $44 million in a split. Who they split with? Like Texas believes their money has more value than everybody else's anyway. So they feel like, well, why would we share with BYU, Arizona State, Arizona?
See, that's
like they feel better than the other people in play. This group of 12 all feel like stepchildren, and they're going to play pissed.
Yeah.
They're going to be pissed off that they're in the pool to begin with.
The Big 12 doesn't move quick. The Pac-12 will move quicker. I think they're both in desperation mode, but they're trying to play like they're not.
Well, Cal's still in play.
Right. But if I'm the
Stanford is still in play.
But if I'm the Pac-12, right, I'm going to try to lock down what I have, and then I'm actually going to try to get a BYU, or BYU's already, or get a BYU in there, and even maybe take on a Utah State, a lower level school. And here's why. Because it will give you kind of like that section of the country shut off, even if you have to take on a Nevada or like somebody like that, to where, okay, now we can kind of start to formulate what our conference is.
Who's the best of the Mountain West? Who's the best in every sport?
I would get a.
Is it UNLV?
Here's what I would definitely go. The first place I'm going is San Diego State, football and basketball. And that's it's a beautiful market. You got California locked down, so you don't have to worry about losing recruits to Midwest.
Well, you've lost USC and UCLA, so
right.
That's the part.
But see, here's how I can combat that.
Okay.
Do you want to play? Okay, so I'm recruiting you, and I'm San Diego State, Cal, or what Stanford, right? And this is also coming with the assumption that Stanford starts to get back to where they were. like it's something.
That's the way to do it,
right? If I'm sitting down with you, okay, yeah, UCLA and all that, but I would say, you know what? They're going to be recruiting more Midwest kids because you're never going to be on TV, so your parents and family can't go to games. You'll be right here. This is what we're doing. We can feature you, a la that. Now, I'm going to tell you the university that's in the biggest pickle is the University of Kansas. Basketball, they would probably want to be in the Big Ten, but it's not enough revenue to do that, even though it's Kansas. Because football, even though they had a good year last year, they aren't revenue enough. They aren't bringing enough revenue to make it feasible to do it. So they're kind of like caught in a pickle. Their main sport isn't the big revenue sport. So when you come knocking on the Big Ten door,
we don't care.
We don't care. But so that's where
I can cook. Yeah,
that's where though DP, if they decided to start to kind of a SWAC 2.0, right? Where Kansas could go down there, they could compete right away in that conference in football. Basketball, they would be. They'd be kings. They'd be kings, but it would still be great basketball.
Well, they can still go and play their neighbors in meaningful basketball games.
But you got to think, though. Just think, Texas Tech is a legitimate top 15 team. TCU is a great basketball school. SMU will give you problems. So then you're thinking of Kansas. So you're right there. And if you could get Oklahoma State to come with you or Kansas State, that's sick. You are a powerful basketball conference.
Can I ask the most basic of questions? And Bach, I want to bring you into it. If we're really trying to get it right, whatever right is, right? Meaningful games, meaningful rivalries.
I already know what he's going to say. Bach, you got this.
Fan experience.
I ain't getting in trouble.
Fan experience.
And we only have 2 minutes. Go ahead, Bach.
But Bach, why wouldn't the Pac-12 be California? Or California and Oregon and Washington? Why is Maryland and Rutgers in the Big Ten? Why is UConn going to the why is Connecticut and Gonzaga going to be in the same conference? It's such nonsense. Yeah. It's absolute nonsense.
Well, it went from regional to now every team, like the Pac-12 or the Big 12 is looking to have a team in every
corner.
Every corner,
every big market.
Yeah, every market they can in every time zone.
Right, your big market should be your core.
The answer is easy.
Money.
Yeah. Every big market is covered. When the TV contracts come, is more money.
And
the last thing they're thinking about is football.
It just
good
makes,
product,
right? But that should be the thing. Like Nebraska sells in football, no matter where it goes, no matter who watches, no matter who they're playing against. It sells. Same for Ohio State. Same for Michigan. That's why people want to cross stream. But then get that in the moments that matter and make bowl games meaningful. And then the conference means something. Styles of play would be in effect. And yeah, you can still recruit to skill positions in the meat markets, and then meat markets get to go to California. But from a fan experience, from a player experience, from a coaching comfort, everything other than money speaks to we're doing this entirely wrong and don't care.
Yeah, because they're taking away the fan experience of the people from Nebraska pretty much taking over Ames, Iowa, because it's a 2.5-hour trip or 3-hour trip.
But they deserve that. Imagine how much fun that would
be. But they're banking on that there's more people on the face of the earth than when I was playing, that now it's just everybody has a home field advantage.
Well, everybody has satellite TV. Everybody has a package.
But I'm talking about at the game, though. So Gonzaga and Connecticut, there's only going to be maybe 1,000 people that are going to leave from wherever they Podunk, Washington, to go to Connecticut. So that's a home field advantage for Connecticut. So now the college experience that we're talking about is out the door.
Well, but that's the way it should. That's like, I'm an ACC dude at heart.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. But
like,
DP, that's been over a long time ago.
Look, man, we couldn't get you if we went down to Chapel Hill to try to see Jordan against Maryland. Look, man, you better bring an army. And you weren't getting in because the tickets were already sold. Nebraska would love for people to try to get tickets to Memorial Stadium. Come on in here. Like, we saw what happened to Iowa. They tiptoed out. Like, I don't know why the business people way down on the list should be home field advantage. Home field advantage is you controlling your market, doing good business, taking care of your kids, giving kids a reason to stay home because they know the neighbors. Like the neighbors ain't sexy anymore.
They're not bringing football experience into they're looking at
it's business people making business decisions instead of football people.
To be honest with you, when you're getting that much money and TV money, and it's going to go up even more now, and I'll predict this as well. Once the streamings and do not let Amazon Prime come in, it'll double everybody's money. So that's why you see teams so readily that will do this though, right? If you're up there in Gonzaga and you can't get over the hump, let's go to the Big East. And forget the kids that they're going to be jet lagged. We need these checks. That's the way it goes.
Just tell me they're not going to class. Just tell me
that's going to be next.
Like, tell me it don't matter.
All of it's online.
I will tell
you, if you are academically ineligible, you have tried harder to be academically ineligible than trying to be eligible. So unless you have some sort of issue. With that being said, that's a great segment. We're going to have a short segment where I'm going to touch a little bit on the NFL, and I'm going to tell you who my surprise team this year is.
I know who Box is.
And the reason why I think it's going to be a surprise team, it might surprise you, probably make DP mad, but Jay Foreman, DP Bach will be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with D and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop,
Generation V.
providing friendly, personalized service and the largest selection of vaporizers and e-liquid flavors in the state.
Generation V.
Generation V will beat or match any local competitor's price. With a huge selection, great service, and the lowest prices, Generation V is your one-stop shop for all your vaping needs.
Generation V.
With 4 Lincoln locations, visit us on the web at generationv.com. E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Warm weather calls for fun in the sun and in the pool. If a backyard pool is in your summer plans, make electrical safety your priority. Visit les.com/safety to keep your family safe.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They're looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services. Celebrate the start of June in style with 2 great drinking events in Lincoln. First, this Friday, come down to Beer House's grand opening as they show off their expansion to double the size of their building. The party starts at 3 p.m. with live polka music starting at 7. And on Saturday, make plans to head to Sideshow Spirits and Cider for the first annual Nebraska Whiskey Carnival. Enjoy local Nebraska distilleries and their spirits, food vendors, and more. Event starts at 3 p.m. Buy your tickets ahead of time at SideshowSpirits.com.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But here, what if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 423-8400. Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to the Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Allo is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Your work calling? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Allo. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Allo Internet. Visit allofibers.com/FYI.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Quick segment, Old School back, brought to you by the Mercado. I'm going to tell you again, Fired Up Friday is their lunch special. Feedlot Burger was what I grubbed on. I definitely will go to bat for that. Short segment, I was going to inform DP. Looking at the teams.
No.
I know you look at DP. Hey, DP thought he was slick. You know, people kind of like look at, you're in public and people like look at your phone. DP looked at my computer and see who I was picking up.
No, the text line was already on you.
Oh, well,
the text line was Jonathan Corder was already like, he called this out 8 minutes ago. No, Jay.
I ain't doing the Cowboys. Cowboys could have a Emmitt Smith #2 and Troy Aikman again. I would never pick the Cowboys. The team that I think is going to be the surprise team this year, and it might just be by record, is the Washington Commanders. Specifically because they were 8-8 last year, or what were they, 8-8-1? But when you look at their schedule starting off, and I always look at, I just obviously from playing, I always look at the first, 6, 7, 8 games, right? Where they get their 2 really hard games out of the way by week 8, and that's against Philly. So if they possibly can split that, they're playing with house money, but they get to play the Arizona Cardinals without Pocket Hercules and a new coach. They play Denver, that's trying to still get their ducks in a row, right? So you're getting Denver early so they could possibly really start 2-0. And if they could upset my Buffalo Bills, they could be 3-0. But at the worst case scenario, even going to Philly on October 1st, they'll be 2-2. Then they get a little bit of reprieve, right? Even though it's not going to be easy. You got Chicago in primetime at home. Then you go on the road against Atlanta, who I think they match up better against Atlanta than a lot of teams in their division. And then you get to go, which I think is the biggest game in this first half of the season, at the New York Giants. Are the Giants for real? Can you make up grounds? They battled them tough last year. So
they had a tough loss and a tie.
Right.
Okay.
So again, so when they're looking at New York, they're like, oh, well, you didn't do anything that we couldn't do. We beat you guys. We tied you. And you went and won a playoff game. If they can win that one, then they get Philly at home in week 8. You just never know. Will the injury bug probably ever get Philly? They beat Philly. They played well against Philly. So even though they didn't have hurt, but they played well against Philly, they don't fear Philly. So when you look at them in those first 8 weeks, they can get the head start. And then when you look at the second half of their season or schedule, New England always will be tough. Seattle is the road trip. But again, is Geno Smith for real? It sets up to where you're facing teams that the quarterbacks aren't proven. Giants, right? Their quarterback is still, I think he played well last year, still has to prove himself. New England, quarterback has to prove himself, right? Or get back on the right track. Seattle, Geno, are you for real? Then you play the Giants again. Then the first time that you go at Dallas. And you never know what the type of physical shape Miami is by the time you get to week 14, and then they finally get the bye week. And then guess what they have after the bye week, which I think is the gauntlet for them. So they have to do in those first 13 weeks, the 13 games, they got to really get a head start.
9-4.
Right.
8-5.
Right. You get 8-5, 9-4. It's a must win against the Rams. A must win. Yes. I don't care. Okay, it's a must win against the Rams. You beat the Rams. Okay, you're 10-4.
Like the matchup.
9-5. Then you got the last 3. Okay. At the New York, let's say A.A. Ron and got them going. So you got, that's an L. San Francisco, they've always played well.
Oh, they're playing the Jets?
Yeah.
Oh, they beating the Jets.
But at the Jets, though.
Oh, it's the same weather. We don't care.
But it's at the Jets. And
Is this all with Sam Howell at the helm? Or who's?
No,
Yeah.
no.
But
other Sam.
But listen to this: the last game that doesn't have a time, or last two games, San Francisco at home,
L,
and Dallas
win. They will beat.
So
Dallas
then there you go. So then you're thinking like, okay, they can backdoor their way into 9, 10, 11 wins.
Well, we only their starting quarterback only knows beating Dallas.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
sure.
Like he only knows. Like, think about that. There's a dude who walking around in the NFC East just going, "What? Those guys?"
Because
I beat him with the backups. Like
and their whole season, kind of like Nebraska, is going to be contingent on an offensive line, number one, being healthy and being better. But one of the big free agent pickups was Andrew Noel, who's really a good player.
Yeah.
They need Leno Jr. to play like he did the last quarter of the season because they're like skill position. Robinson, Gibson, that's a good 1-2 punch. You got Thunder and Lightning, or whatever you want to call them. You got McLaurin, Dotson, Curtis Samuel, Logan Thomas. That's something that gives you a lot of. I mean, that's a problem for a defense.
Washington has been up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Last year they were right in the middle, but they still finished in the bottom. So they're two missed field goals from having 10 wins last year.
And then
literally two makeable field goals from being 10 wins last year.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. I haven't until we get the full coronation of a new king in DC.
So yeah, they're delaying until the beginning of training camp.
Right, until there's a new coronation, there's a new owner name on the box. I can't consider it. I cannot consider it. I can't.
Hey, DP's holder is like the Yelp from like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, I'm not coming back to the restaurant. Last time I had food poisoning, and you tell me I got a new chef, but I need some other people. I need to see the new chef. I need some other people to go eat it a couple of times before I bite.
I understand it. I'm just looking at teams.
Can we get box? Can we get box sleeper?
Who's your sleeper box?
Well, it's not the Cardinals. You're poking at. I don't even know what to do. I'll ask you guys this because Kyler Murray is going to be out for half the year. They have the Texans pick. The Cardinals do. If they have a bad year, Kyler only plays half the year. Caleb Williams is sitting there.
He gone. He
Make
gone.
the pick. Yeah.
Oh, you got to take
Williams.
Williams.
Signed Kyler with a lot of money though.
Yeah.
Somebody be dumb enough to take it.
Yeah.
Find another dummy out there.
He'll be in Washington.
Hey, if there's Eric Bieniemy, if there's somebody that can get something out of him, you like him to go there.
And that's the part you missed of the one thing that gives me hope. That's Bieniemy.
Right.
Bieniemy makes me think, okay, all right, do I try? But
I think Bieniemy has learned from Andy Reid with the offensive line how to play call around it to be effective. So
let's hope.
Washington Commanders got everybody on.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
No, I'm never picking the Cowboys. Don't ever think I'm picking the Cowboys to do anything. But that's a good first hour down. When we come back, we'll talk some more NFL news. We'll talk fair catch rule. Do I believe that the NFL is trying to worry about players' health, which is highly doubtful. We'll talk a little about K-State coming back because I think him and Fred had their press conference today. And then we'll send everybody off to the weekend. So Jay Foreman, DP, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM First, 93.7 The Ticket.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You are so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Family Fun Days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, this is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Gearset.
When you find something that moves them, makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped and picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15. 10, 5, he'll score!
On 97 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Old School is 5 o'clock hour. Jay Foreman, DP, Fox stepping in like he always does, stepping up to the plate, making us sound good and having us look good on the ones and twos. Old School is brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, special ingredients and butcher shop located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut. I will encourage everybody to go down to their Friday. They have lunch specials called Fired Up Friday. I got the Feedlot Burger. I can't wait to get home and eat the second half of it. So
let me say this. Somebody on text, Eagles, even with the hardest schedule, is going to run through the league this year, especially the NFC. I don't know. The team Jay just mentioned just thumped the Eagles. Stumped them.
It's harder to do what the Eagles did last year again, just for the simple fact you're going to get everybody's best shot. They have a full season of how to defense that offense of the Eagles. The Eagles, obviously, I think they have drafted better than anybody in the last 3 or 4 years. But they're still rookies and they're still young.
Like I'm hating. I'm hating.
But the Eagles still can be, had. So
they got everybody, Jay. That makes me mad.
I think they're suspect at the second level, and that's where Kansas City attacked, and that's where everybody else will.
Hate.
Kent on the text line. He said, "Do the same with my dad's team. He must not like the Vikings."
I think he likes them.
Oh, wait. I think the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings will be a surprise. I think the Vikings will be a better team, but I don't think their record will be 13 wins. So, but I think the Vikings are in a really good position because Green Bay is obviously in transition. Detroit is their biggest obstacle. Chicago is going to be better, but they aren't there yet. So if I'm the Vikings, when you're running it back with Kirk Cousins, and if they decide to keep Dalvin Cook, or if not, and if they accumulate some assets, which are draft picks for Dalvin Cook, I'd hope that their defense is better than it was last year because their offense obviously will be able to continue to put up points. So with them, the Bills defensively, I know Leslie Frazier. They have got to be. They have to get more physical. And that's on both sides of the ball. And so, yes, Josh Allen is an unstoppable force. Yes, him and Diggs are a highlight reel. They have to be able to line up, punch you in the face, and run the ball. Now, I think Von Miller coming back changes the whole dynamic of the team because he's a closer in the run game and pass game. But still, he's 35, 36 years old, and the Bills know, especially up there, you have got to be able to run the ball. If they could find a way to pull off the biggest heist ever and trade for Dalvin Cook or get Dalvin Cook to sign there and somehow get DeAndre Hopkins to come up and play in cold weather, it does.
Would you want Zeke?
I would. I'd love Zeke.
Because that's one you can get. That's one you can get.
I think ultimately, I think Zeke is going to go back to Dallas. I think Zeke's feelings is hurt because I think he's he was high paycheck. If I was Zeke last year, I would have worked out some sort of compromise so I'd still be on Dallas because I think Zeke is still effective. Pass protection, catching the ball out of the backfield, red zone or 10 yards, and then he can find the end zone. He runs behind his pads. And I'm not sure Pollard is ready to be that guy.
I think the same thing about Zeke that you said about James Harden yesterday. That if Zeke wants to win,
stay right there.
Nah, I think he goes to Buffalo. Sure. It's comfort. It's the James Harden thing. Yeah. It's comfortable for Harden in Houston. It may not be the best place for him to win right now.
Yeah, Zeke is playing with house money. There's nowhere that if his choices are Buffalo and Dallas, they're both going to win. I assume they're going to.
Thomas and Lincoln, I need for you to text in, man. I need for you to come by the radio station. That's all. I've been waiting for you. You need to come by the radio station. I got something for you. But he asked the question. He says, "All right, Jay, what would Carolina have to do?"
It was between the Commanders and Carolina, and I don't think Howell, like the two quarterbacks, they're both rookies. Howell played one game. I'd probably, if I had to start my team, I'm obviously going to take Young. I think Carolina is going to be sneaky good, right? I think Tampa is obviously going to be horrible. New Orleans is going to be tough. I think New Orleans is going to probably win the division. I think Carolina is going to be two because I think Carolina has more defensively than Atlanta does, even though Atlanta has better toys on offense. I think Carolina has a sneaky good offensive young nucleus. If they can find a way to run the ball, they're going to be dangerous because I think Young with Frank Reich in Carolina, a really good landing spot for him. It's not New York and stuff like that. I think they're going to be I think Young after about game 6, 7, or 8, he'll
take off.
You'll see like, okay, I see why he was picking up.
Yeah, he'll take off.
Yeah, I mean it's like we mentioned before, some NFL news where the big thing coming out of it that from the owners meeting or whatever they had, because they had two things going on. They had the owners getting together and they decided to what DP was talking about, to delay the official sale of the Commanders until right before training camp. Then they also had a kind of conference for minority coaches to get around the owners, so the owners are more comfortable, so it could fast track them to getting more opportunities. Position coaches or position coach positions, coordinator positions, obviously head coach position or opportunities as well, because you had Gary Gray there, Leslie Frazier. So what they are trying to do, ideally or in theory, is eliminate the excuse of DP doesn't interview, right? What that really means is the owner ain't comfortable looking at other people that don't look like him. That's a personal choice. I could see both ways. So now, but then what they really also, the main thing up there they were doing was looking at how to quote unquote advance the game. Rule changes, the big rule change coming out where fair catch rule, no matter where you fair catch it, you start at the 25-yard line. They brought in player safety, which is the dumbest thing that you could say now. Because first of all, the player safety thing is out. Well, if you have anybody that played in the NFL with any sense, they would look at you crazy. Because when Hamlin got hurt, the referee and the NFL wanted to restart the game. It took two head coaches coming together in a highly contested game, home field advantage on it, and really Cincinnati got the short end of the stick because they were dominating that game, but that game never got replayed. They had to end up going on the road to Buffalo, and they didn't get a home playoff game. But these two head coaches put player safety first above the league. The NFL is saying, there's too many concussions on kickoffs, which I call BS on, because they moved up the kickoff yardage. So a lot of the kicks are going out of the end zone. So when you're covering kicks, you could put your stars out there because 9 times out of 10, nothing's getting returned. The thing that it's doing is it's actually allowing the offenses to score more points, and this is the difference. So if
that really is the thing that we talked about. Too many people make in positions of power to make the football decisions that aren't football people.
Just say, you know what?
Like, stop it.
After a score, you're going to start at the 25-yard line unless you choose to return.
Yeah, you score. Like, why even put the play out there? You're taking time off the clock. You're expending energy. People running down. The fans go, look, man, this is when I'm going to the bathroom. This is what I'm running
Go
through.
grab your couple
You
of
made
beers.
it an irrelevant play, and you remove Billy White, Susan Johnson, Brian Mitchell,
Devin Hester, Deion
like
Sanders,
you've
Brian
removed
Mitchell.
them from the game and turned it into this other thing. Stop it.
All while adding another game to the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was why. That was why. The number of plays.
And playing Thursday night game.
Right. That literally was the discussion, was this prolongs the career, so let's prolong the season. Like the number, if Jay Foreman, because Jay Foreman has 1,000 plays in. Well, we don't want to burn him on special teams.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you?
All the 8 plays in a game.
Like, that's how you found Jay Foreman in the first place, because you dum-dums at the top don't make football decisions. You don't know. You can't measure heart. You don't know how to. So Jay Foreman's hiding right in broad daylight. Like, it's just like this. Think of all the great players who were missed on, who simply got an opportunity because of special teams. And now you're removing all of that. You're removing. This is how, look, to me, and this is listening to owners talk, this is how you end up expanding, because you think you can, those bottom tier players that you're missing on, first you think they'll make a team and they'll get to play because, well, we don't burn them out on any other way.
Yeah.
And then you're going to ask the USFL and the XFL to find those players that you missed on, and then you'll just outbid them and steal them. So you're allowing them to do work. And then finally, 5 years from now, 3 years too late, you're going to turn those into the minor league teams that you should have had all along.
Yeah, it's in the chain. People don't really understand the rules. So the pooch kick, which is kind of like in golf terms, because I know they got a big golf tournament Memorial, it's like a wedge shot, right? So in order to pin, say they do have a Devin Hester or somebody that is dangerous, or a Cordell Patterson, right, who seems like to be the only one now that can really he takes it from 10 yards deep and runs it all the way back, right?
Yeah.
Well, to offset that, right? So even though you're kicking from closer, and say you have a kicker that has a little bit of a leg issue, you can pooch kick it, and I could kick it to Bach, and it's up in the air. So if Bach fair catches it at the 5-yard line, the old rule, that's where you're starting. Well, now if you fair catch it at the 1, right? So then that eliminates the IQ of a returner of, do I keep my heels at the 3-yard line? If I take 2 steps back, then it's going to go in the end zone, or do I, do it like baseball, hit it running like Brian Mitchell?
Yep.
That's all done. So if you fair catch it, now you start at the 25-yard line. So the incentive to return the ball is kind of like a couple years ago where Nebraska, they just, put what's your face in there to just fair catch it. So it's moving towards more of a 7-on-7 type of product.
But we know, this is the thing. The fact that the people in positions of power don't pay attention. Like, literally, ask Nebraska fans, do you want 7-on-7 football in spring game?
But here's what they would tell you. Here's what they would tell you. They would say that play is a more high risk play. And here's what what I would say. They would say, okay, they could say 20% of the time there might have been a concussion. Well, that's 2 out of 10, right? But in a regular game, there might be 400 concussions in like 4,000 plays, or in 40,000 plays.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got 400 concussions based in 2. So yeah, the percentage, say you're at 4% for regular plays and 20 at the kickoff. Well, you got 10 million more concussions or big injuries off of regulars, and now you're trying to eliminate.
You know when you get concussed? Goal line. You're not taking goal line out of it.
Right.
3rd and 2, concussions. You're not tackling plays in space, concussions.
I wonder if guys get more concussions.
Ask the offensive and defensive linemen who headbutt 48 times a game when concussions happen.
Yeah, but I think a lot of guys, when I watch it, football now, I've had quite a few concussions and varied in severity. Some real bad ones, and all up and down the line. It would be hard for me to really play efficiently, right, as far as tackling, and then trying to make sure, okay, well, is my head here, there? Because that's when I think I would get knocked out or get banged up pretty good. Coming up there, then I'm thinking while I'm playing versus just going. Not head hunting, but good, clean play. You know what I mean? Face mask to face mask, or, head across the, in the V, we go like one side of the V or whatever. But if I'm trying to, Bach's coming across the middle and Bach is, 5'11", I'm 6'2.5". Okay, well, Bach's knowing he curls up. Now I have nothing to hit. Now I'm trying to go extra low. Oops, well, Bach's knee hits me dead in the head. Now I'm out like a light. Now I'm asleep. So I think, like, I understand, they could say it, but I don't think you can't add a game and pretty much the owners punk them. They say, look, we're going to let you guys smoke weed as much as you want. You got to like smoke weed for 8 weeks in a row before you get in trouble.
To appease the pain from the concussions that we.
But you have to give us a 17 game.
Like all those body aches you have.
Where you get a ton of money. Yeah, we want a 17 game where you make a ton of money. Then we're going to take away a preseason game, which is taking away the guys that are your bottom roster, special teams opportunity to make it, because we don't make enough money. But we're going to add a game where we make a ton of money because it's a regular season game.
They're replaceable.
Sure.
They're the guys who make the special teams and who are at the bottom. Those last 20 players cut.
But they're not even like. But see, like,
because it costs them. It doesn't cost them anything in investing, right? They don't get fully vested. They've got to do this success line, this tightrope walk, 5 years to get value. It doesn't cost you much. If you lose somebody that you're paying $20,000 a game versus somebody that you're paying $400,000 a game, okay, I'm going to throw that dude on the grenade.
And also, you're forgetting they expanded the number of guys on practice squad. So really, you can't even really establish. You could just DP could be my special teams guru, but say, I know my kicker is going to kick it out of the end zone, or maybe we know it's going to be a tight game. Well, I could move DP down to the practice squad, and now you can actually put some of your veterans on practice squad, which is great because guys can kind of stay in the league, but then you're not playing. I mean, heck, the one McCown was on the practice squad during COVID. He was on practice squad at home.
Load
for
management.
Philly.
Load management.
So
You're going to have those players who sit on practice squad for 3 weeks at the beginning part of the season, or they look at the schedule and go, "Listen, these are not games that we should lose. These are games. Let him heal." Like instead of him going back out there to play again, you put him on the practice squad. You deactivate him for 3 weeks. Not a big deal. He's sitting there. Okay, if you need, cool. We can do what we do. Like that. The mechanics, the business decisions should never affect the game itself.
But we're way past that. Because as an owner or like you can't say, well, we care about player safety when it comes to players getting benefits. You guys, first of all, the concussion thing, right?
Yeah.
You had to admit that you said that black people were more dumber. They were dumber, so then therefore they automatically
higher pain threshold.
No, they were dumber in the concussion test. They were
dumber and a higher pain threshold.
So then you're lower. You already did that. Then you got minimal health insurance, right? So you got the biggest conglomerate but the worst benefits, and then you say we care about player safety. The only time that you're really going to get any concussion money is like when you're like pretty much on the brink of death.
I know I can name off 8 players who are under concussion lawsuits right now because they actually have the plays when they got concussed, showed them being concussed, showed them being pulled out, being evaluated on the sideline, sent into the locker room, missed the next week, and the NFL. No, the insurance. No.
It's
tough. It's tough.
It shouldn't be the way it is, but this is just a byproduct of it. No, I mean, look, they have their reasons why they're doing it, and one of the most respected players, whose dad's a Hall of Fame player, Jackie Slater from the Patriots, who still is probably the only special teams guru left in the league. New England puts a big emphasis on that. And he's a good receiver as well. Yeah. But he's gonna, if there is a cover guy, he's gonna be up for making Hall of Fame. I mean, he just called the NFL the task the other day, and they must be in minicamp or OTA. So, that's the way the NFL does things. That's big business. It's no different than we talked about college football and expansion, or anything like that. Even like with college football and expanding the college football playoffs, or you know what I mean? They're going to go all the way to the brink to when they have to do it, right?
There's a great text for you.
Which one?
It says, always talk about player safety, but refuse to switch to grass. That's what I do. That's the exact response I expected from you.
Yeah, there's data out there for, I think, both ways. Definitely no AstroTurf. I think the field turf at first was really good, but I think that's kind of lost its luster. I loved playing on grass. I did. I loved being in the dirt and stuff like that. I've seen guys get hurt on grass. One of my best friends, Sean Bryson, he blew out his ACL on grass. But I think grass is probably more natural. I think you don't see a lot of high schools. If you look, I always try to go start at high school, then work my way up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see a lot of high schools with field turf. I mean, heck, if you think of the SEC, I don't know if there's a lot of teams that don't play on grass in the SEC. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking like the major players. Well, Georgia does.
Well, they use the excuse that you're in the South, so the weather is more conducive to keeping that turf healthy and replaceable. You can't really do that in Lincoln, Nebraska.
You can, because they have places where you can grow grass,
but you also can't play. You can't practice on that turf because you need for it to make it through.
Right. They got 3 fields down there, and I think they got plenty of places to practice.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think the season's pretty much over, like middle of November. I know you play like after Black Friday. It's not that. You need not 5 feet of snow on there.
Well, but it eliminates all the. Remember, we said business versus the game. Turf is a business decision. It is not a football decision.
Right.
Because you need 6 home games. That turf the grass needs to last 6 home games.
It needs to look good and play good and stuff like that. And I mean, you see some fields,
which means you can't have concerts on it.
Right.
You can't go into
I mean, it's
The camp money goes out the window because no coach wants high schoolers tearing up his turf.
I will tell you this though, I'll never forget playing in Houston, and we'd walk through. They were having a concert coming in. We were playing on the road, and so we had to do our walkthrough. We had to do it at a different place in the stadium because they were getting ready for this concert. Well, I'm thinking, we just played there last week, so I'm sure the turf would still be there. We go out there, it's all concrete. So the turf came in on pallets in Houston. So you can do it anywhere. Yeah, I mean, look, and I will say we have a great texter from AJ. Look, the English Premier League in the winter has the best turf out there. It can be done. Now, it's a little bit more money. Those guys need to make financial decisions. But again, the texter is
for the
right.
greater good of the game.
You can talk about field. You can talk about the turf and all. There's a lot of things the NFL could do for player safety. Number one, taking care of your players would be better and all that stuff, and doing everything above board. But that's a good segment. It's a subject that's going to be, talked about for years and decades. It won't change, and all aboard. So it's always going to look. I will say this about the NFL: right, wrong, or indifferent. Whenever they do something, it moves the needle more than anything else. And that's why they can that's why they can operate the way they operate. So it is what it is. But I will tell you, if you keep taking away from the game, you will lose your stronghold. And so with that being said, that's a good first segment. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back, talk a little bit of Tominaga coming back, a little basketball talk, and where does Nebraska go from here? After what Fred and K-State said today at their press conference. Jay Foreman, DP, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club, or space club, and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wow, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge, 29th and Pine Lake.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals, plus porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else. Open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certification. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence.
Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard, increase security, and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, Old School, on a Friday. Last big segment. So we had big news a couple days ago. K-State decided to come back. Him and Fred had their press conference, and they seemed awful chummy. Obviously, Fred was excited to have him back. I think K-State really took I said it from the very beginning, DP. K-State before last year, and then he had a really good summer and off season where he really developed to get to the rack. He discovered how to use angles and come off picks and learn how to expand on what he did well, which allowed him to hit the three shot for him to get more open looks, and he was very consistent. So it's obviously an addition to a team that Fred Hoiberg is going to coach, even though I think it's a huge loss of the three losses to me that I think are huge. Vandemel obviously was during the season, so he didn't get to finish. The two big losses are D. Walker being gone and Sam Griesel. But I think they have more depth this year. And you got to think even with Hoiberg's son, where they're 10, 11 deep. When they look at these guys right here, I'm sure Fred likes them all. I think last year he liked, 7 of them, 8 of them. You know what I'm saying? Now I think he likes them all, which I think is great because you need it in the Big Ten and the Big Ten season. It's going to be interesting how they develop that chemistry. And, the guys that were here last year, they got to compete for playing time, how that all works. Because you look at a guy like C.J. Wilson. Nobody's talked about him all offseason, right? He was a up and down. He took good shots, right? He just had a year that he just didn't go in. It was like, just one of those years. Good shots, rim, with tight rims, just didn't go in. He had just a up and down year. I think he started to kind of come out of his shell last year towards the end. But the better that CJ gets in the offseason is the better for the team, because it's great that you got Euless from Iowa. You got all these guys coming in, but CJ's played before. He knows what Fred wants. And I think CJ will become more efficient without having to play more minutes. You get what I'm saying? Like less is more. And then I think Romello, we're just talking in the off air, is I think his skill set, and I think he's worked on his outside shot, but I think his skill set is unique because he's a legit 6'6". 6'5", 6'6". He's not this fake 6'5", 6'6". My man's tall, and he's got big, broad shoulders. He can get downhill. He can finish at the rim, and he can dish the ball in tight spaces. So as much as we're talking about everybody else, you have a guy on your roster that can do what Sam Griesel did, but do it a little bit differently, right? So that gives you flexibility potentially to close a game, and it gives you length to do some different things on defense. It gives you options along if you want to go super small, you want to go medium size, or you just want to go big where you have Ramel Lloyd, Lawrence, Gary, Blaze Keita, and then one of the new guys in there. You got it, 6'4" and above, where you can kind of play different lineups. So I think it's going to be an interesting year, how Fred manages it. But I think as much as when the season ended, it was like doom and gloom. Nebraska went, 500, wasn't the best showing in the Big Ten tournament. And then finally, we're losing D. Walker, which is like, man, he was that guy. And Griesel, magically like that. You're like, okay, well, I can see where this roster is starting to form.
Well, I mean, here's perspective. That if we started last season and said Nebraska's going to go 500, Nebraska fans would have thrown confetti and met us at the bar.
Yeah.
Like that would have been the whole thing. But the process changes the way you perceive it. And the reality is they were pretty good at the end of the year. Like they were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So in saying that, then the numbers, you do the head count. And I like to say as a coach, I measured my team by when I looked down the bench. When I had a question about, I saw something in the game that needed to go on. When I looked down the bench, was there an answer? Like, and did I expect an answer? Like, did I need a bucket here. Is there somebody who can get me a bucket? And when I look down the bench and there ain't nobody there, then I got to, okay, what am I going to do? You got depth. Josiah Allick gives flexibility of rotation. Fred mentioned that he'll have a small lineup, right, mid-sized lineup, and then a long lineup. He can do different things, different folks. He can go with 3 power forwards on the floor. I consider Blaze a power forward more than a center. But his ability to rebound and alter shots is Big Ten big. So, cool. Juwan Gary. Together with Blaze, I feel comfortable. This whole roster is flexible. It's fluid. It's absolutely fluid. And to think about it, if we had said end of year that in clutch moments, Sam Hoiberg, we want him on the floor, we need him on the floor. And we're not talking about him.
Right.
So what Hoiberg has done is put himself in a position to have balance, to have some options, which is wonderful, but it's still the Big Ten.
And it's competitive in practice.
Yep. Think about it. That second group, if we said, and I was going to ask you what your starting 5 in your mind that Keisei kind of you put in because he should. If you told me that Ulis was the starting point guard because that's why you brought him in, somebody with Big Ten who's been in the tournaments, who's been like he did, okay. If you told me that Bryce Williams, because of everything that he is and everything he's always ever been, is your small forward, I'm cool with it because CJ's already said for the greater good of the team, I'll come off the bench. Ramel's a team dude. We know that Sam is a team dude. If you told me that Blaze, Josiah Allick, Sam Hoiberg, Ramel Lloyd, and CJ Wilcher were coming off your bench, that would have been the 5 on the floor Sons last year. Sons, right. Walker, and
so who do you think is going to start?
I think, and again, it's just an opinion, but Keisei is the guarantee.
Okay. And
everything else is flexible.
Gary's starting.
If he's healthy, he's starting.
Well, I'm assuming he's healthy.
If he's healthy, he's starting.
We'll just assume that he's healthy.
If he's healthy, he starts. Keisei, Gary, Bryce Williams, I think, was the choice for several reasons and the flexible ability. What I would like is Ramel Lloyd as your point, so you have the 2 6'7s to kind of offset Keisei's 6'2. That's what I would like. The big, I'm good with either big, but I think by midseason, Alec is Derek Walker revisited. I think he plays the game. He's Joakim Noah. He's Anderson Varejao on those Cleveland teams, and he does all those things. But he's a better 3-point shooter, and he's a crowd enhancer.
You don't think ice rink mass don't start?
Well, I think that's the plan, but having met Josiah Alec, he's a vibe, bro. Like Jay, you know how you meet players and you just think this dude is about us. This dude's about this squad. That's what I get from Alec. That when they say that thing that I sometimes frown about, that people from Nebraska care more, it means more. In his case, it actually does.
Yeah.
Like this is a dude, like I'm telling you, this dude eats, sleep, drinks basketball.
I think the starting lineup, not all of it, but some of it will be fluid. And I necessarily don't think it'll be necessarily because Josiah or Rink or Blaze isn't playing well. I think that whoever is hot and playing better at that time,
yes,
and the matchups will start. Because when you look at the roster, that 5-on-5 in practice, no matter how starters, first and second team, doesn't matter, is way more competitive, in my opinion, and way more portable onto the court at PBA than they've had in a very long time.
I'm going to call the second five software. That it's just reading and analyzing as it sits on the bench and it comes in and plays smart basketball.
Good problems to have.
Right, it plays smart basketball. It does like they process.
It's a good problem to have because say Bryce Williams doesn't start, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't start, but say he first off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I would always say it doesn't matter. It does matter if you start because that's what kids do today. They take score.
Yeah.
But also they forget to take score on do you finish the game? That's where Sam Hoiberg comes in because he can hit free throws and he knows how to play defense and he's going to make those extra, I call them special teams plays, get his hand on the ball. If the ball's on the ground, he knows he's going to dive on the ball and get an extra possession. He knows he's going to take a charge.
Defend the back cut, pick off a ball.
Right.
But
again, as much as like when we talk about the football team, when we said we got to eliminate the big body blows that we punch ourselves in the face, whoever continues to, and I hate to use this word buy-in, but whoever continues to play up to the standard of defense that they set last year will be the guys that are out there. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, we're talking about what they can do offensively. Yeah. What you do defensively is going to set yourself apart. And if they get 10 guys that buy into that, they're going to be a team that's not going to be 500. They'll be in a top. What do you got to get to not playing that first round, top 8 or top 10?
Is there a bad defender in the group?
Well, here's what I'll say about this. I don't think there's a bad defender where you're like, man, that he can't defend or won't defend.
Yeah.
I also think that the basketball IQ has went way up. Now, I feel Derek Walker had the best basketball IQ in this program for a very long time. I think right behind him was Sam Griesel. But I'm just talking about the depth of basketball IQ. So, who's that's really going to help? It's going to, in my opinion, it's going to help C.J. Wilcher. It's going to help Ramel, and it's going to help all these young guys. It's going to help Jamarcus Lawrence continue along the path of growth. It's going to help Casey, be better. It's going to help Eli Rice and all those guys because here's why. Now Fred doesn't matter what unit he has coaches or potentially, he has experienced players out there. Ulis can talk to the guards, right? Yeah. Ice Rink and Josiah can talk to the forwards.
Well, Sam can talk to the guards.
Well, sure. But we're talking about, Sam can, but then Ulis, he's coming from Iowa where you got experience and stuff like that. Sam can, they all can. So what I'm saying is the best teams or the best linebacker units I played on, we all talk the same language. We all, when whether it was preseason or practice, soon as we're talking through plays and scenarios, then we're going and practicing. You get what I'm saying?
Interesting question for you. And text line, you can tell me if I'm wrong. And Bach, please chime in. Let me show you a different perspective. If Sam Hoiberg is the starting point guard, nobody's really upset.
Not anymore.
Like if
He's more than- he's more than-
if your backcourt is Sam and Keita, everybody's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, he's more than earned his stripes.
Like we know we're going to hit shots. We know we're going to do the right thing with the ball offensively.
Right.
Yeah, we'll struggle a little bit defensively, but we're going to be scrappy. Like Sam gets in people's way. I mean, they call him with sweater. Like, come on. Like time. There has been a shift.
Well, they all can, they all can play, and the thing is about Sam is when he look. First of all, he's at a Power 5, and his dad's the coach, so he's already dealing with a lot of stuff that he doesn't necessarily should or have to deal with. But then he has been very patient as he's seen Verge and that crew come through, Bryce McGowan's and that crew do their thing, and then last year was kind of just getting in at the very end. But when they needed him to step up, right, he not only stepped up one step, he stepped up 5 steps.
Mm-hmm.
So what that's doing is it's building a foundation of what's being taught by a very instrumental player on the roster. So whether he starts or not, he's going to play a huge role. He's going to play, and now it's going to push everybody else. You can't say, well, he's like the McCaffreys up at Iowa. But they can play. They're going to play. He's not just a coach. He can play. And if you don't come with it every day, Sam going to get in your shorts. And so what they're doing potentially is a continue along the process of building a different basketball program and team by finding guys that know how to play within what they want out of each player. It started last year. They buy in defense and play in different ways. You'll see continuation. So it's all up to them, and keep pushing them. So good segment about K-State and Nebraska basketball. Should be starting to get excited, but obviously we got Husker football coming up. Right before we leave, I want all 3 of us to pick a surprise player of the Nebraska football team. Who's going to have that year that everybody talks about? So we come back after this break. We'll pick our players and send you guys out to the weekend. DP, Bach, Jay Foreman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere sprayer from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See & Spray to target weeds in season, in corn and soybeans, and use less herbicide per acre. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused. But when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club, space club, and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join The best 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge, 29th and Pine Lake.
Join us on Tuesday, June 6th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 40th and Old Cheney for Customer Appreciation Day. Enjoy 59-cent wings all day and your favorite talk show host on the air from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come hang out with us for Customer Appreciation Day on Tuesday, June 6th at the 40th and Old Cheney Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make a short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals, plus porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Showers and thunderstorms will be a possibility today. Otherwise, it was another warm one. The high of 87, south 15 to 25. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, low down to around 64. Another chance of scattered showers and storms tomorrow, warm yet again, with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and The Ticket FM.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, DP? Bach, Jay Foreman, Old School. We got about 3 or 4 minutes. We alluded to it before the last break. Bach, we're going to start with you, man. Who is your surprise player on the Nebraska football team that doesn't have the last name Sims?
All right. I really like what I saw out of Prince William Whalen, and he was getting a lot of some talk from the coaching staff as well, and they've obviously had a much better look than I have at him. So it just makes me believe there's a spot for those guys, and it just keeps reminding me when they asked Tony White about the edge rushers. He mentioned Jamari Butler and a bunch of newcomers. So I think it's pretty much it's open competition. They're going to like the guys that they brought in. Prince William Whalen flashed big time for me in the spring game.
DP? Uh-oh, the Bach, there go that big inhale.
I've wavered, man. I've wavered. I'm going to say Xavier Betts.
That's interesting.
I'm going to say Xavier Betts because I think
comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I think we've forgotten how he popped before he stepped away, and to come back a year, 15 months more mature, both emotionally and physically, gives me hope. It gives me hope because we're looking for big play guys.
Yeah,
offensive.
Take the top off.
Yeah, Xavier is at the top of the list for me as a guy that I think can show out.
For me, I know I mentioned his name before is Jamari Butler because I think the thing I like from first of all he is he's talented, hasn't been playing football that long. He's a basketball player by trade, and obviously he's taken off football. I like his mindset, trying to be physical. But I think what I really like about him, and this is obviously a product of the defense, is that he's shown position flexibility, right? So Sherman at maybe outside, he's shown the ability to play off the ball. So then it's one guy that can play, that is actually two players. He can rush the passer when you want to get your hand in the dirt. He can play off the ball with speed and some secondary pass rush. But then it eliminates the depth problem in your inside linebacker room on second down and third down. So
he really was my second choice.
Yeah, I think he should do well. I texted him today. I said, "Listen, don't come back here." I said, "Do not come home without taking your respect."
Yeah, I had him pulled up and locked and loaded, man.
Without taking your respect. So Hey, good week, good show. We'll be back on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Hydrate because it's going to be hot out there. DP, Bach, Jay Foreman, we are out.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop.
Generation V.
Providing friendly, personalized service and the largest selection of vaporizers and